Millions of people visit Mount Rushmore every year. They take their photos. They read the plaques. They go home thinking they've seen everything. They haven't. Because hidden behind the face of Abraham Lincoln is a secret room that the U.S. government has quietly kept off every official tour guide. A room that was built on purpose with a very specific mission. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what's inside. Most people know the basics about Mount Rushmore. 4 presidents, South Dakota. Took 14 years to build, completed in 1941. But here's what most people don't know. The man who designed Mount Rushmore, a sculptor named Gutzon Borglum, never intended it to be just a monument. He had a much bigger vision. Borglum believed that Mount Rushmore should be more than stone faces staring into the sky. He wanted it to be a message, preserved for thousands of years, a message to future civilizations, or whoever came after us. So, he designed something that was never meant to be on any tourist map. He called it the Hall of Records. Now, before you think this is just a legend or an urban myth, let me show you the proof. Gutzon Borglum started designing the Hall of Records in the 1930s. The plan was extraordinary. Behind Lincoln's face, workers would carve an 800-foot-long tunnel directly into the granite mountain. At the end of that tunnel, an enormous chamber, the size of a large room, big enough to hold the most important records in human history. Not gold, not weapons, not treasure. Records. Borglum wanted to store the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the history of how Mount Rushmore itself was built, the biographies of the 4 presidents carved into the mountain, and, most fascinatingly, a complete history of why America exists. He wrote in his own notes that someday, someone from another civilization might find this mountain and have no idea what it meant or who built it. The Hall of Records was designed to explain everything, like a time capsule carved into the heart of a nation. Construction actually began. Workers started blasting the tunnel in 1938. They got 70 feet deep into the mountain. And then it stopped. Funding ran out. World War II began. Borglum died in 1941, just months before the monument was officially completed. The Hall of Records was abandoned. The tunnel was left unfinished. And for decades, almost nobody talked about it. But here's where it gets interesting. Because abandoned doesn't mean gone. The tunnel is still there, right now. Behind Lincoln's face, a 70-foot passage carved into solid granite, sealed off from the public. And in 1998, over 50 years after Borglum died, the National Park Service quietly completed one part of his original vision. They placed a titanium vault inside the tunnel. Inside that vault, 16 porcelain enamel panels, each one engraved with the text of founding American documents, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the full story of how Mount Rushmore was conceived, designed, and built. The vault was sealed shut. The entrance was covered with a granite capstone. And the public was never really told. There's no exhibit about it, no tour that takes you there. If you visit Mount Rushmore today and ask a ranger about the secret room, most of them will confirm it exists. But you're not allowed anywhere near it. It's sitting there, right now, behind one of the most visited monuments in America. A sealed room that almost nobody knows about, containing the words that founded a nation. Waiting. For who? Nobody officially knows. But here's the part that nobody talks about. Borglum's original blueprints, the full version, described something much larger than what exists today. The completed Hall of Records was supposed to have an 800-foot tunnel, not 70 feet, a grand entryway with a carved eagle with a 38-foot wingspan, a massive bronze door, and inside the main chamber, a massive glass and steel cabinet holding the records of every great achievement of American civilization. None of that was ever built. What sits inside the mountain today is a fraction, a tiny whisper, of what Borglum actually designed. And here's the question nobody seems to ask. If they had the tunnel already started in 1938, if the technology existed, if the will was there, why did it really stop? Was it just funding? Was it just the war? Or did someone decide that some secrets are better left unfinished? The Hall of Records is real. The vault is real. The titanium panels inside the sealed granite tunnel are real. And Mount Rushmore, the monument you thought you knew, has been keeping this secret in plain sight for over 80 years. If this secret surprised you, you are not ready for what I have coming next week. Subscribe to Basant's Secrets because the next one is even darker.